Greetings, this is this, and I am me. And I don't know what I'm going to do today because I want to finish this up with these last two puzzles. I want to, but I'm at such a loss for what the heck I'm doing wrong with this one and for where the heck I'm supposed to look for this one. I mean, maybe not. This one is just... Okay. So for this one, we totally found the diamonds. I know we found them, and I didn't get my book beforehand, so pardon me while I flip the pages back to wherever I'm supposed to be looking. Yeah, I feel like we definitely found the diamonds. Okay, I've got my reference picture now. And there's a teal there. There's a purple there. There's a purple there, a yellow there, a teal there. I feel like that's, at a minimum, that's locked in. Now, maybe I'm wrong, because maybe the squares are a bit confusing as to where you're supposed to line things up. I could believe it being a bit confusing in that sense, in that regard, because they're not really like nice, perfect squares. So that's a contributing factor that we could consider. Then we have 3 yellows that you can see when you're above the whole thing that I think we're supposed to include. And they're supposed to line up somewhere along here. I was thinking that they were here, here, and here. Maybe they're supposed to be there, there, and there. I don't know. Or maybe they're here, here, and here. If they're in any of these spaces, though, I feel like I provided a solution that would make sense, regardless of which row these technically are on. So I'm either still missing some diamonds, which we already searched a second time. The placement is off somehow. Or I'm forgetting something about how these work. Why don't we go and take a look real quick? Why is it lagging? Please don't lag. Let's go and take a look and see what there is to see, because we can just fast travel right there anyway. So we'll take a look. Okay, so we've got ones like this. Okay, why is every game that I'm playing lagging so bad? Maybe I just need to restart my computer again. I've restarted it recently because I thought they just needed a refresh. You know, every game was lagging. It didn't really seem like it helped very much, but maybe another restart. I don't know. We'll figure it out next time. I mean, maybe there won't be a next time because I'll finish this game. But okay. So if we look at puzzles like these, you know, you can only have 2 in any group if it's the same color. Correct. Okay, got that. Over here, we have teal and yellow in the same grouping. That's fine. You can put the same color in the same group. We know this to be true. Sure. Okay, now there is the hidden option that every single one of these is like amalgamating to being something I need to consider. The weird thing about that is if we do that, because this is sort of like taking up 1 square's worth of space, right? Now, it can be positioned in different spots, but in general, it is one yellow. But I already had an even number of yellows, because I have 1 here, and then I had the 3 up top, which was 4, plus this one is 5. And if we don't consider the ones up top, you're like, well, yeah, just don't use the ones up top. Use that to pair with the other yellow, and then you have 2 purples to pair and 2 teal to pair. Well, then my question to you, or like the thing that I would pose to you, would be, okay, then why do anything then? Because I can just do this. You can just have absolutely nothing, because we would have 2 teal, 2 yellow, and 2 purple, and that nothing needs to be separated. So you could just do a grid of nothing. So I don't feel like that makes sense. You can put all 3 colors in one if you want. I could have 2 purple, 2 yellow, and 2 white all in one thing. Okay. So yeah, I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the first 5. And maybe, like, because I'm weirded out that these are a different shape, but so if this is the shape of most of the squares, then I guess it makes sense, like, for this to be here, because this is the shape of that square. So it's right in the middle. And this is the shape of that square. It's plentifully in the middle there. Is this yellow because there's a yellow power cord here? I could consider that. I think it is usually exclusively diamonds that we're supposed to be looking for, and these ones are diamonds. I don't think I'm supposed to just consider any color. There was a power cord at the mining tunnel one too, and I didn't consider that. So I don't think we would. Okay, so this shape here, any diamonds? I don't think so. This shape here, no. This one here, no. Okay, so then down here is the teal. That makes sense. Here is yellow. This one's a little off center, but it's still within where the boundaries of the square would technically be. This one, Okay, this one, We've got that all on lock. So maybe we consider this, and right now it is in that bottom corner. I can put a note there. Tentative note that there is a yellow there, but I feel like that's making things complicated because then I don't know what to match it up with. This, This, This one, So this is interesting because this would be like, if this goes to here, and so if I walk in that building and there is a diamond in there, then that would count, I feel like, in my book. But I already checked in here and there's nothing. Unless you want me to count like what's on the screen, which I feel like is, they've never had us do that before. So I feel like that's probably not anything. But this building is right up on the edge of everything. I don't think they would have us do that. And so then the center has those spaces on it. There's 3 squares across the center. Okay, let me go up. Oh, it does just come down. I was like, I can't go up. I'm stuck. I'm trapped here forever. I'll go up and I will double check the yellows up here. So far, like, it's just confusing because based on what I have to work with, the pieces that I have, it doesn't seem like a difficult puzzle at all. So it makes me think I'm definitely missing some things. Okay. So this would be a square. That would be a square. This would be a square. And so, like, this is a square. So do I call it yellow? Because, so that's how many down? 1, 2, 3, 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right on the edge. That is where I've placed it already. Like, that's the position that I've already picked for this. But perspective-wise, it's looking like it's there. But should we actually put it, like, lower? Or, like, we can't put it on the bottom because it's already taken by something. But it could go on spot 5. So this one, I mean, that is in the middle. This one's going to be on the other edge. I just don't have a clue. But yeah, it definitely doesn't seem... Like, it definitely seems like that would be the grid. And it just doesn't seem like it's... Like, it's complicated enough. I keep doing solutions that I feel like technically would work if that was the real grid. But they're not happy with it. And I'm like, yeah, I get why you're not happy with it because that's such an easy, simple solution, but I don't know what else you want me to do. Double, triple, quadruple check over here. Maybe we're missing something. Maybe we just haven't found it yet. There's nothing at all. Like, I feel like it would be so weird for me to start considering other random stuff. But I could. Like, with the dot one, you had to do the lanterns and the flowers and the flower, like, decor pieces in the house. So there's 3 different things. So I've been looking at the diamond warning signs, but maybe we also have to consider, like, these gates. They're black. They don't look like diamonds. Not really. But there are 4 of them. So they would technically go together. Like, there's enough for pairs. I can jot it down. Because that'll certainly make it more complicated. If we consider those ones. Oh, but see, then it becomes problematic because one of the... This one over here... If this is black, that doesn't make any sense because it's also yellow. Did we ever have ones that were 2-color? We did if they were like a flower. They would be purple and orange. But otherwise we didn't have ones that were 2 colors. So there's something like that to consider. Like that those are black. There's the middle piece to consider that moves around. Or I could consider colors showing up in other capacities. So probably not all of this yellow power line going underneath the whole thing because that would be too much. But technically we do have a little bit of yellow on that square up top there. We have white going across all of these. So you could technically do like white, white, white for these 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Where else is there a prominent color? Okay, white down in this bottom corner. But see, I'm like doubling up colors. I feel like that's weird. I feel like that's something that like wouldn't happen, but so white there, and then I put white for that one as well, and I guess yellow for the one above it, but that one already has a yellow. I mean, I'll consider it a second time, whatever. And then that's all. Let me workshop this, see if there's anything we can do. Oh, I don't want to go up, I want to go, I think it's down this way. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Okay. So, let's use the new information that we have. I'm going to mark all the yellows, which I just unmarked all of those, but... Okay, tentatively we have a yellow there. We have yellow here, here, and here. We have a yellow there. We have yellow there. Okay. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Sure. So, if I go like this, we have purple matches with purple. They're the only purples. Cool. I have to get the teal to match with the teal. Okay. We have teal here. matches with teal down here. They're the only teals. Okay, cool. In terms of yellow, I have yellow here and yellow here. They're the only yellows. Cool. Oh, but I've left a yellow isolated. I probably am supposed to move this platform here, and then you can go around like that. And so this would be yellow and yellow, and then there would only be 2 yellows here. And yeah, that can go around like that. Okay, and then white. I have a white here, and we have a white here. So that matches up. And then black. I have black here and black here. Okay. In this central zone, if we're pretending there isn't a yellow here and there is a yellow here, then we have yellow, yellow, and that's it. And then on this sidebar, this is the weirdest spot because we have yellow and yellow, which is fine. We have black here and black here, which is fine. But in terms of white, it's kind of like we have 3, but it wouldn't have a match anyway, because I was thinking there was white here, here, and here. Now, does the real life platform need to be in the correct spot as the, like, will the puzzle not work unless I have this in the right spot? I have no clue if this literally matters at all. But in order to get this in the right spot, I think we want it to land there. Well, that seems easy. I thought I was going to struggle with that a little bit more, but that's probably fine. So that's yeah. It's right in that upper corner where I was expecting it to be. Okay. Sure. Oh, down here. So that's something. Maybe now this will just work because the platform's in the right spot. That would be best case scenario. Absolute best case scenarios. This just works now. It does not. Okay. Regroup. Let me just check real quick if I can find any more squares that I would want to consider white. I mean, we could try and consider this one white, but I feel like the way it's done is sort of as if it's not, you know, like if this is the boundaries, I'd say it's not. Whereas this one clearly is, and this one is, and this one is. Huh. And then this one clearly is, and then that's a boundary as well. Because if we count this one, because it's like just reaching over, then we count this one as well, and there would still not be a correct number overall. So that makes me feel like the power strips probably don't mean anything. But so even if the power strips don't mean anything, why, like, wouldn't my solution still work? Let's say the power strips mean nothing. So we wouldn't consider that a yellow. And then we have an extra yellow. So I'm assuming we don't consider the platform yellow either. Then we have a yellow here, a yellow there. We have a yellow, oh, okay. What about that? If the power strips don't mean anything, then we would not consider any of the white, but maybe we still should consider the black. So in order to do that, okay, at a minimum, we need this, and this, and this, and this to all be filled in, because I'm pretty sure they have to share. Now we probably would like to incorporate 2 black and 2 yellow. And this is yellow and black. So honestly, you might as well just connect those ones up. And then that's the 2 black that you need. And so then you just need another yellow. So just take that yellow and... No, don't take that yellow. Because that yellow has to go with this yellow. So, we gotta get this yellow. But we don't want these 2 black. Nah. I think because we can't go around it. How do you get to this yellow and then to this without getting to the black? Without isolating that? You can't. You can't. It's too ugly. It doesn't work. You can. Surely you can. So there's black here and black here. So they either get connected in such a fashion as that, or they go around something. So like they could go all the way around like this so that the 2 yellows are connected, right? But if you do something like that, it causes... Okay. Purple... Like, the teal are going to be connected, but how do I get the purples to connect? I can't. Like, it's too dividing of a thing to do. How do you get this? How? This definitely seems like it could be something because of how complicated it seems like it's going to be. But it is still weird that you have, like, this spot is supposedly a yellow, but also a black. That doesn't really make sense. Those would be all of the points of interest. If we disregard the power wires, and therefore disregard the floating platform in the middle because it wouldn't have a match unless we have the power cords. Okay. So those are all the points of interest. You could do yellow to yellow there. And you could do black and maybe we could do like that is yellow to yellow and black to black. And so then we have teal and teal are connected. This yellow and this yellow are connected. Purple and purple are connected. The black and the black. I mean, you could do something like that, but that's seems way too simple. I don't know. I think I'm going to need help on that one. Like, I think I'm going to have to look up something about it. I will go first and look at this stupid flower one. Now, they have, like, they're showing a picture like this. Which is very similar to what we want to reference. If you considered each of these as like, each of these little squares are actually 4 squares, then it would be like lengthwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Height here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which I guess doesn't make sense. Okay. I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue about any of this stuff. It's so... The other ones, I feel like when I got it, it was pretty clear at least what I was supposed to be getting. it was like, okay, there's where I'm getting my information from. Let me just tweak the perspective until I kind of, until I got it. But with these last two, I kind of still am like, I don't know what's going on at all. Why is the flower map so far away from the flower thing that's helpful? Is it because it's actually the garden down there? Is that where I'm actually supposed to be? And not looking at this? Because I cannot express to you how much I feel like this is what I'm supposed to look at. But I have absolutely no clue how the squares go. Okay, it needs to be 3 tall in one spot. Like wherever I'm supposed to consider it being 3 tall. Do I have any grid for this yet? Now, it makes no sense for me to consider this as 4 squares. Okay? Because the flowers are, unless you're like, oh, it's a purple flower and a purple flower and a purple flower and an orange flower. No, it's a flower that is 3 purple and 1 orange, right? So if we consider it that, then what we're looking at is, it's just, why isn't there enough space in between this way? Because this is enough space to have this be on the bottom, and then this is a blank, and then this is next. And it's 3. But I don't know how much it is this way. Are we supposed to use these as pieces of the grid? Because that seems messed up. I don't think we're supposed to do that. The grid should be 6 long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't make any sense. Because I don't know, do you cut off that side or do you cut off that side? It's like the mansion all over again. Okay, so you guys were saying with the mansion, which I never went back and referenced it again yet to like fully, compare what you guys were talking about with the visuals. But you're saying it's not really about the size of the windows. It was about the space that the windows, like the space of wall or whatever that the windows were taking up. So maybe this is not about the space of the floor in between or whatever. It's about the spaces in between or something. I don't know. I mean, it's about, I don't know. They're making the grids be kind of funky sometimes. I like when the grids are direct. The grids are not direct here. Like, are these, all 3 of these in the same row? And all 3 of these in the same row? Because from a top-down perspective, they would be. Or are they not? But if they're not, then they're staggered somehow, which is really weird. It doesn't make any sense. And whichever these are, well, not whichever, but like I'm thinking these are all in a row. And then this is a row of blank in between everything. And then these are all in a row. And if that's the case, then this is probably, I just don't know how to center it, but it's probably the bottom section of the grid. And so then we still have a 2x3 section on the top that is unaccounted for. And we've done piecemeal ones before. And you had to look somewhere else for the rest of the grid. I guess it seems odd that it would be in this section because it's technically a different section. But I could believe it being down here because they were hidden before. I mean, this is kind of similar style-wise, like for the grid. It's kind of similar. But these aren't really giving me the right vibes of any sort of flowers. Like, I don't know how I would reference that. But we do have a piece here. This is 3 of the grid. I don't know if it's the top 3 or if it's the bottom 3. But this could very easily be 1, 2, 3 squares. And this one, I already said it would be orange, orange, purple, purple, but that doesn't make sense. Because that's not how the flower's petals are normally oriented. They're not north, south, east, west vibe. They're like southwest, northeast, southeast, southwest vibe. So that's confusing. That is definitely confusing. And then I still need 3 more pieces of the grid. Okay, so continue to scan the flower section of the map specifically. Find those last pieces of the grid. Find those last pieces of the grid. Okay. Surely there's just one more piece, right? We're missing one more piece. I don't know why this stupid section cannot be traversed easily. Why do the bridges have to be like this? Why can't the bridges just be connected easily? Okay, anyway, whatever. This is where they start you with the map teleportation. Surely that means something. Surely that means this is a grid as well. But I don't know how I would know what any of this means. I think I'm going to look up a hint for both of them, because I've spent enough time trying to figure it out. I wish, trust me, I wish with all my heart that I could figure them out without any extra research, but I don't think it's going to happen. How am I going to look it up? Taiji, flower puzzle hint, but I don't know if they're gonna give me like, oh, I guess environmental maybe. Whoa, literally, is this person me? This person on Reddit is saying that they need hints for 2 of the puzzles. I'm in the secret area by the start of the environmental puzzles. The 2 I'm missing are the diamond one and the flower one. Okay, diamond, they feel that they've figured out that it's the colored caution signs with the 5x6 being the area where the moving platform is. They could find 6 signs visible from there and 2 from outside. 6 signs visible from there? 6? Do I have 6? Where's my grid? Did they find more than me? 2 teal, 1, 2, 2 purple, 1, 2, and 2 yellow? And 2 from outside? 2 blue, 2 purple, 4 yellow. I mean, yeah, so if there aren't more, surely all I need is to section off 2 yellow, but that isn't working. Okay, yeah, so that's exactly where I'm at too, okay? Flowers, they're drawing a blank. It's a weird shape. I haven't been able to find anything that shape. They have a feeling it has to do with the yellow and purple flower patches. There are 24 of them, just like boxes in the grid. Okay. Here, let's see the people's hints. Please tell me that they didn't spoil things too much. Okay, so I found 8 diamonds. 7 of them are on the perimeter. But that one seems to be floating in the middle of nothing. Something in the middle that can fill up the empty space. I don't get what they're saying. Oh, are they saying to like take the... Okay, let me read both hints now. But I think that they're saying take the moving platform and somehow park it in the... I can't. Then I'll be stuck on it. I don't get that hint. It doesn't seem helpful to me. Okay. Flowers. You're stressing too much on finding the puzzle. Take a break and smell the flowers. This person, I feel like they're like trying to be clever and give hints that are obscure, But I feel like to a degree they're saying things that the people already knew. Staircase give off a nice aroma. Sit down somewhere taking a break on those 9 platforms there. Okay, so they want me to look at the 9 platforms? Maybe that other building with the floor panels, they're higher up so they give a nice view around the place. Or that garden down below. Oh! Okay, wait. I get what they're saying about I had to look at the person's reference picture, so they kind of just told me. But even looking at it, I was still like, I have no clue what you're talking about. Okay, I can teleport straight over there. I get what they're saying about this place. They're saying, which I just feel like I never, ever would have thought of that. They're saying this entire blank space in the middle here, take this grid and blow it up so that it's the size of the whole thing. So like that's a yellow spot, that's yellow, this is blank, 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 this is yellow, blank, yellow, and then yellow, blank, yellow. I don't feel like I ever would have noticed that or come up with that. That one's kind of crazy because I just feel like the size, sure, like this is a grid, right? And it fits in this grid, but like the size switch, I feel like is so odd to like think to blow up something else to fit in with the grid. And then also you're looking at these, which are environmental pieces, but then you're also using, like, this is what I feared. This is what I feared was that they wanted me to do at some point, but I kept telling myself they've never had us do that before. They've never had us do that before. At least not that I'm remembering, where you're using a grid as part of the environmental puzzle. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. Okay, well, I guess we can just try and figure that one out then right now. Okay. Go. So we're just going to mark yellow. I'm just going to mark all the yellow. So, to start, we have yellow, yellow, yellow. And then I have on the bottom, middle, yellow. Okay, and then in this grid, it was what? Yellow, yellow, blank, blank, blank. Yellow, 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 yellow. I think it was like that. Okay. And I need to get the 2 purples connected and the 2 teals connected. Purple, teal, purple, teal. Okay. So I feel like if we snake through here somehow. Nope, you can't get past. Okay. We have to snake up here somehow. And up here somehow. Right? Because like we have to get past this line at some point. So we could do that. Whoops. And then we can go like around here. And that'll help with those 2. And then these 3. How? How do you have these 3 separate in some capacity? These are all, there's so many touching. It's complicated. How am I gonna? I could do something like that. Something like that? Oh, no, not quite. How about... Oh, God. How about we could do something like that? And then to get the ones on the side, like how do I... There are too many here. Well, I don't need that one though. And I don't need that one. Or maybe I do. I don't remember. No, I don't. Okay. So we can do something like that. Oh, well, we can't do that. Yeah, no, we can do that. Because it's not touching the other ones. But then it's touching there. What if I don't do that one, though, and I do that one? And we keep that there. Okay, so then we have to figure something out with this section. Oh, but we have to connect. This isn't connected anymore, and this is supposed to be connected, this bottom corner. Okay. So I feel like this is the way that makes sense. Connecting that up and then that up. We could just go straight through. You know, you could do something like that, and then this is teal and purple, yellow and yellow, purple and teal. So that's all good. But getting the rest of these connected up is not going to work out very well because these two would have to be unfilled in. So these ones would have to be filled in. And so then you don't want anything touching there. And you would do that one and this one. I don't really know how. I guess like that. But once again, this needs to connect up down there somehow. It could go all the way along the edge, and then you wouldn't do those two. And then just block that off there, and you wouldn't do that one. But then all of these in the middle, like that's way too awkward. It can't be done. It can't be done. So I feel like going through the middle, at least right here, is the helpful way because it divides these sides up. And so then you have to just have those ones filled in but not included. These ones need to connect up to those ones. So how do I get this to connect to that to connect to all this path without it touching this one? It's kind of impossible. You cannot connect that up there. Connect it up. Maybe we go. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm naturally trying to pair the ones next to each other together. And I feel like to a degree that's what I need to do because there's so many crammed next to each other. Like, how are you really going to manage anything else? But maybe that's not what I do. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's all a big mess. Purple there, teal there, purple there. Okay. I can do this. We absolutely know for a fact that the purple and the teal have to be together because there's no way you can get this to this. You will block this and this off from connecting with each other because you cannot go back around. You can't go back around anything. So we know they're included. Okay. Sure. We can go around somehow. We can go around somehow, like any of the around paths are possible. Or you can go up and through the middle. Or through any side anywhere. You could do any of that. Okay. I feel like when there are a ton of one color that you have to separate, it's helpful to be able to like weave in and out. So if we could weave in and out somehow, that would be helpful. Like maybe we like go like that and then you come down somehow. You can't go down completely though. You have to go down completely somewhere. It's like I've already included 2 yellow and cut a lot of stuff off that did not need to be cut off. So that includes 2 yellow there. And we could just like you could just do the sides, but then it leaves 3 in the middle, impossibly so. So we definitely don't want to do it like that. You definitely are going to have to at least take those 2, which if you take those 2, I don't know how you're ever going to connect it up with the bottom. You can't. So we can't go across this way. We can't go up and around that. We can't go down and over that way. We can't go down and over that way. We can't go down through this way. So like you don't do those ones and you don't do the outside ones. So you either do like 2 on one side. No, that's also weird. You have to just go through the middle, right? But the question is, do I go over on one of the sides like that? Or do I go down here? Because if I go down there, that seems like the best option. Seems like the best option. We have 2 yellows. Just don't touch any more yellow. But then all 3 of these technically, and all 3 of these technically, like they're touching, but they need to not touch. Well, I mean, we don't need to put that up over there. So then you could fill in that one. And we don't need to put that up over there. So you can fill in that one. Which is fine. Except that means that they have to fill in with these ones. Which is fine there and fine there. Or even like that, I suppose. But to get this middle part to connect to the top part is going to be really difficult. What do I do? I have to somehow, because this one's only path is up. So we can't do that, which means you'd have to do that. But then it screws up that one. It seems so impossible. Like, I think I'm not seeing something. I think I'm thinking incorrectly about something. Okay, we've got those ones. Now, crossing this section. You can cross in one spot or more than one spot. Let's say we cross in one spot. Like that. Okay? So this is connected to here and it's going to cross on this side. I have to connect it up like that because, well, I can't go like that because then I'm adding more yellow. So you can only go this way and it adds a yellow and it'll make sure that everything on this bottom half can connect to everything on this top half. Okay. Whether we go around, whether we go up, who knows? But if we do that, then this one, and this one all cannot be filled in. But I can fill that in just fine. And I could fill it in with whoever else I want. So like that one. That's cool. Except that it's not, because I have no way to disconnect this grouping. I have no way to disconnect that grouping if we do something like that. So I feel like bringing it up on the side like that is not the most helpful. Is this side any different? I don't think so. Okay, so then what are our other options? Okay, well, we can cross through on the side and then not use this one if we also cross through on this side somewhere. But maybe I go in for this one. Like, what if we do like that? And that's how they're going to end up connecting up. Then I have 3 here, which isn't the best. And if I go there... Now there's 4 here, which is maybe slightly more doable. Except that it's not. But if we were to go maybe around somehow, these 2 are okay. Oh, but now I've got 3 in. Oh yeah, we don't want 3 in. So even when I was doing that, there were 3. Yeah, we don't want that. So if you're going to connect without connecting across here, you have to connect this way, because if you try and cross over here, you're adding too many. So you'd have to connect up there, which is fine. Except now so many of these are touching and we can't have them touching. But you could go down like that, and that doesn't help at all. It actually makes things slightly worse, because at least when it was this way... Well, no, it doesn't really make things worse. But, like, I can do those 2 like that. But then all the rest are very problematic because they're touching the outside walls. Okay. Well, what if I misremembered where the yellow diamonds are? And I've been trying this whole time to do it in a way that doesn't even make sense for me to attempt. No, I didn't. That's where they were. Okay. So then you can think about, okay, coming through and getting both the yellows in one go on one side like that. Okay. Then how would we connect this up to the rest of this? It's impossible. Because any way to get to this square, you're passing another purple. So you definitely cannot do that. That's illegal. So we tried taking a path like this, and then your other option to connect up to here is to pass through here, here, or here. Which this one, I mean, I feel like you'd have to pass through something else. So it's like you have to pass through here, which we tried a couple different options, and you have to pass through here, which we tried a couple different options. Okay. So instead, we said, okay, don't go that way. Go in the next path. Whether you go up and over to it, like that, or whether you go down and up or over like that. Why is that one filled in? I don't know. Or whether you go over and then over like that. It doesn't matter because, I mean, we can do something like that. But yeah, no, then how do we connect up with here? How do we connect up with here? It's not going to work. Okay, and you can go across here, like I've said, you can do something like that. Whoops. But if that doesn't help this. What we're trying to do right now is we're trying to figure out how we cross this line when we only have the maximum of 2 crosses. Okay, so I feel like the middle is the answer. You go through at the middle and you either go that way or you go that way. This way seems better to me. It seems like it gives us more opportunity. But at the same time, how do I I need to separate these two, and the only way to do that is... No, I need to separate... Oh my god, I hate this. We do this. Okay. No, because that's too many. We do nothing and we just cry. We just sit here and cry and hope that the puzzle forgets that we're here and we can just be alone for a while. We just go the way that makes the most sense, which is the right way to go, obviously, is we're just gonna connect everything up, and it's just gonna work. And everything's gonna be fine. And no one's gonna cry or complain at all. I'm crying and complaining. I'm getting to a point where I think I just look up the answer. This is very difficult. It's very difficult, and I feel like I just have to keep pushing buttons, and maybe somehow it will work out, and hopefully I will notice that it worked out. I'm so lost. I don't understand. I don't understand at all. I feel like I'm trying to connect the wrong things somehow. That gives an interesting vibe. I just don't literally know how to get all these things connected with those few spaces. It's driving me insane. Like, this dude has to cross this line of these 3 diagonal purple. This dude also has to cross this line. Now they can, and then also this section down here at some point has to cross over this line to get up there. Those are things that we know. This has to be able to cross this diagonal line to touch over here at some point. Well, no, it doesn't have to, because you can just go up and over and down. But, like, you know, that's what I mean, is that it's like this diagonal line has to cross. So it could cross there, or it could cross there, or it could cross there. Like, it doesn't have to cross technically this bottom part, but it has to get out of this section somehow. So yeah, we have to cross this somewhere. We have to cross this somewhere in that direction. And we have to cross this somewhere in the up direction. I know that to be true. And in doing so, I can only have things involved on 2 occasions. So if we go up there, we can go over and up and something like that. But if I use both of them on one side without letting this guy cross out of here, it doesn't work. So basically, okay, yeah, if you want to narrow it down, because we have to cross this technically, and I have to cross this technically, that means out of these 3 squares, I have to use at least one. And out of these 3 squares, I have to use at least 1. And if we use there and there, then you have no more for this side. Or if you use there and there, you have no more for this side. Or there and here, any of those. So if I use this, then the other one that I use has to be one of these 3. If I use this, the other one has to be one of these 3. If I use this, then the other one can be here, one of these. But you cannot do, you could do there and there is the only option. But we can't do this and this. We can't do this and this. We can't do this and this. You can't. So you could do here and either that one, or that one. If we do this one, that's still not going to help us. Because there's no way for this. I can't get to it that way. I can't get to it that way. I can't get to it that way. Can't get to it that way. There's no way. So that one's not helpful. So you go here and here, which we've tried a million times. You can go there and there. And if this one is being used and this one is being used, then I can't cross over with those ones. So you have to come down across like that and up like that, which is fine. But then to separate these 4, it gets really tricky. We could do maybe something like that? No, because these are not, those are not disconnected. You could do something like that. So those ones are in their own space. Oh, well, we can't do that one. We could do that. Those 2 are in their own space. But if we can't click on this one, or this one, or this one, it's not looking good. I would like to be able to do this one, but I can only do that one if I don't do that one. And if I don't do that one, then now this is all connected again. So I feel like you have to do that. But then you can't do that or that or that. But you could do this or this. So we can try that one. And that one. And that gets us pretty close. Because you could do those. And you could just bring this around this side. It's not ideal, but it's close. Or you could bring it around that way. And it's really close. Except, oh, now this is included in there and we don't want that. Oh my god. Okay, well, what if we do that same thing but on this side instead? Because the dynamics are technically a little different on this side. Then I guess you could do that one. And you could do none of those. You have to do this one. You do that one. Okay. I don't know. I don't think I'm finding what I need there. So that was with this and with this one. So let's try, okay. Instead, we do that out of these 3. If we do that one, can't do this one, can't do this one, can't do this one, can't do this one. You got to do one of these 3. But we have to be able to cross over the top, so you'd have to do that one. And that's the one that's not helpful to us because how do we connect it up over here? Okay, so then you're left with that and whichever of these ones up here we want. This one we already tried and this one we already tried. If we do that one, that's weird because how do I get out? right? So if you do the middle one, you have to do this one. So you have to do that. Wait, this is looking pretty good. Why is this looking promising? Wait. Wait. Oh my god! How did I do that? Oh my god. How did I do that? It looks so simple. It's so symmetrical. It's so simple. How did I not already do that? Okay, sorry if it's weirdly silent, but maybe I will have left in some of, like, me from doing that from start to finish. Because I was kind of just randomly clicking to build off of the mess that I had made, and I was feeling like it was starting to work, but I was very confused and hesitant. It ended up working? What? Okay, I did that one. We had to get the help for the middle grid part, but I did end up doing it. I did not look up the solution. I know I was silent, but I did not look up the solution. I literally have no problem saying if I look something up, which is what I'm about to do right now with this flower one. Well, not look it up, but I'm going back to the hint that the person gave. So that I can cross-reference or like see more clearly everything that they're talking about. Okay. So, let's see. The flowers. Okay. The flowers. Let us... How do I... Oh, I already teleported here. Like, how do I do this? So, they're saying that there are 4 different sections that need to be cross-referenced. And it seems like one of them... So it says, you're stressing too much on finding this puzzle. Take a break, smell the flowers. I don't know if that's part of the hint. Those ones in the staircase. Okay. Which we were already looking at. The staircase up there. We'll get to that. We will get there. That's at least one zone, and I know where it is. Okay. Sit down somewhere taking a break on 9 platforms. These are the 9 platforms. Okay. So this they're saying is also a part of it. Which is another one that I just don't really agree with. Like, it bothers me that this is part of it, because once again, I feel like, so you want me to use these? Because this doesn't look like flowers in any way. This is not flowers. It is a grid, sure, I'll give you that, but it's not flowers. So if I was looking at this and I was like, okay, this is part of the grid, I would consider all of these to be empty spaces. This is part of the grid, but none of them have any flowers on them. But I'm assuming they're probably going to want me to look at each specific marking here, which there are a lot to cross-reference, so okay. Maybe that other building with the floor panels. They're higher up, so they give a nice view. Okay. Or the garden down below. Okay. So it looks like they're saying the top section, this grid, over here, which we already saw, and the garden down below. That part's really throwing me. And so then we will have Where's my book? The platforms are a 3x3 grid. The part up above, I'm thinking, is a 2x3 grid. The part to the right, I would consider a 1x3 grid. So that would be 2x3, 3x3, 1x3. So I'm assuming the garden part down below here should somehow be a 2x3 grid. A 2x3 grid. This is one row, and then this is another row? Maybe? But there's no orange here, there's no purple here. There's no indication that this should be included, in my opinion. Personally, I just don't feel like there's any indication that this should be included. Like, I feel like it's so obscure if you're supposed to include this. So if you are supposed to include this, I'm assuming the answer is this is all blank space. Maybe? That's all blank. And all the flowers are up at the top portion? That seems weird, though. Doesn't seem like you should have parts that you're supposed to reference, but that are actually not giving you any information. Well, I mean, it's giving me information that there's nothing there, but I also could just not reference it. If this is a 2x3 grid, okay, that's, doing a flower puzzle where every single space is a flower, I feel like it's going to be a lot to deal with, but whatever. I'll try it. I'm going the wrong way. There's a secret path in here somewhere. Okay, there we go. So now I have to write down all of what all these are too, so that means all of these squares are also something. Oh, well, actually, don't these ones change or something? No, they don't change. I don't think they change. Or do they change? I don't remember. Purple, 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 purple. So these ones, I think if I put the bridge in a different place. So say we bring that bridge over there. Bear with me now. And then we bring this bridge. Oh, well, you can already see it with this one. So now this one has 2. And so therefore this is different. So I feel like these flowers don't really mean all that much. Like, I just wrote them all down, but they can change. The reason that I'm assuming that we would use the ones that they are right now is because this is when the puzzle is quote-unquote complete. All of the blue lights are lit up. So maybe there's another way that all the blue lights would be lit up, but for me, that's the way all the blue lights get lit up, and it lights up, everything else. So I will leave it as that, as a reference point, but I don't know. I think this is another one that I'm not really going to be a very big fan of. It doesn't seem very... It seems too convoluted, honestly. But maybe it will come together. Maybe it'll come together, and it only seems convoluted right now because I have no clue what I'm doing. Okay. So this section, the middle piece is... I don't know. Maybe orange, purple, purple. But there's really... I have no clue which one of these is orange and which one is purple based on the way it is right now. I know the top is orange, the bottom is purple, but as for the two... No, I know that... I don't know what I know. I don't know anything. Okay. So then it's just the bottom garden, which... I mean, I guess maybe we could try and think of the bottom garden as, or maybe there's like a key. Like there's garden pieces over here, right? Maybe the garden pieces over in this other section. How do you get there? Oh, right here. No. I thought maybe they would like correlate to some other plants or something, and it would be like, oh yeah, that plant is purple. Like it correlates to the purple flower. I'm not seeing anything like that. But maybe those plants down below, maybe they're like dead. And because they're so dead looking, maybe I look at like the dark blue color as purple and the like brown color as orange, something like that. What about this? No. Like, see, there's this blue color and this brown color. That doesn't help me at all. Yeah, I don't know. That all looks like gibberish garbage to me. Okay, so let's go to the grid and see if we can literally input anything that's going to make any amount of sense. I don't think we will. I think I'm going to end up actually looking up the solution to this one, or like even more of a hint. Because this one seems just dumb to me. As far as like the information that I have right now, it seems ridiculous. Like I'm definitely not getting something, I think. So if this flower is supposed to be orange, purple, 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 if we fill it in, then that means we need one filled in. I don't know. Like this is okay. So this one here is purple, 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 purple. So if you fill that in, then you would do nothing filled in. Okay. And this one also, if you fill it in, you do nothing filled in. Okay. So this one here, if this is purple, purple, orange, purple, so it has one orange. It's not filled in. So that means you would want one orange not filled in. So fill in one of these other two. Okay. That one has one orange and it's filled in. So you would want one to be filled in. And what is this one? This one is two orange. So we already have this one not filled in. So we want to not fill it in and not fill this in. So it's two orange not filled in. Okay. So that means the one you'd fill in would be that one. And this is supposed to have two orange filled in. So either the top or the bottom. The top, or what about this one? This is not filled in. So I supposedly want one orange not filled in, which would be that one. So we should fill that one in. Okay. So then you wouldn't fill this one in. And this is one orange not filled in. So we'll fill that in. This one should be one orange not filled in. So I should fill this in so that it's one orange filled in. Okay. This one down here should be one orange not filled in. I guess we can leave it either way. Well, what is this one? One orange filled in. We got that. Okay. This one should be one orange not filled in. Okay, we got that. This one, well, I don't know. This one, it has two orange. I guess maybe that's all you need to know. Yeah, because it doesn't matter what the direction. Okay, okay. Well, I take that back then. That part about the 1x3 that I was like, I have no clue what orientation is supposed to be or whatever. You don't ever need to know that. I just know that there are two orange and two purple. So if that's not filled in, we can do either, right? They don't like that. What if I do that? What if I do that? I think I probably should know what this is then. But I don't know what it is. How do I know what that section is? Let me double check everything here. This should have 1 orange filled in. Good. Okay. This should have 1 orange not filled in. Good. This should have 2 of each. Oh, okay. But we always go with the center dictates what is going to be happening. I always call it orange, but so because the center is not filled in, I want 2 not filled in. We have that. Okay, next one. It's filled in. I want 2 filled in. I have that. This one is, except it's weird because the ones at the edges are always weird. So I don't remember if I'm doing those parts right or not. This one in the center, it needs 1 filled in. It has that. This one, it needs 1 not filled in. It has that. This one needs 1 not filled in. It has that. This one needs 1 not filled in. It has that. This one needs none filled in. It has that. This one filled in. It has that. This one filled in. It has that. This one not filled in. It has that. This one not filled in. It has that. This one not filled in. It has that. This one none filled in. It has that. And then this one 2 filled in. Or we could undo it and have 2 not filled in. Okay, so I don't know if this part is part of it, but if it is, I don't understand. So this would be 1 piece of the grid. And then this would be another piece. And then this would be another piece. And then this would be another piece. This would be a piece. And this would be a piece. But that's so awkward, it doesn't seem like it makes sense at all. I'm going to look at more of their... I feel like I'm close, but I feel like I'm going to look at more of this comment thread because... at one point I was reading, I didn't click through to see the spoiler part, but someone said, I felt like you misled me a little bit with your clue. So maybe let me read that part, but I don't know if it's going to be too spoilery. Because someone else is like, oh, I don't know, and they're saying, look at the original comment. There are 4 areas I should be looking at. I finished the puzzle and I feel like you've deceived me to some degree. The garden below had nothing to do with the puzzle. Okay. So this person is saying the garden down below had nothing to do with the puzzle. It was the trellis below the area on the right. Which I'm already looking at the trellis. But to me the trellis is a 1 by 1. Is it not? Okay, maybe the trellis isn't 1 by 1. Maybe the trellis is a... It would have to be considered a 3 by 3. Sorry, I was looking at my book. If at any point recently it has seemed like I've just been walking all over the place in all kinds of weird directions, it's because I'm usually looking at my book and trying to talk and think about where I'm going all at the same time, and it's a lot to keep track of. So I end up walking into walls. No, still don't go that way. Go all the way over. Yeah, the original comment did give 4 areas to look at, and the trellis, or the garden down below, they cited as an area. But they also cited this as an area. Like this space. And I thought when they said that space, they were hinting you to come over to this side, but then look at this. Which definitely doesn't seem like a 3 by 3 grid to me. So maybe that's the bottom row. That's a 1 by 3 that goes on the bottom, not where I have it right now. And then I'm going to have to bridge over to this other section of stairs. And that's going to be the 2 by 3 that we're missing, and it goes above the other part, because I feel like that matches better in terms of the orientation of the whole. Am I going the wrong way again? I don't remember. In terms of the orientation of the whole grid space, it's going to work better to have, like this is 3 of the bottom row, and then that would be the other 3 of the bottom row. And then this is the 2 rows, and then up there would be 2 rows. Like, it kind of lines up a little bit better. The garden at the bottom really is quite random. I don't feel like it matches up very well at all. To have that down there. Because we didn't need anything below this section. This 3x3 section is sort of the... I know maybe it's hard to keep up with what I'm talking about when... Wait, how do I go? Oh, not this bridge. Up here. Like, I'm talking about it knowing where the grid is in my mind, but you guys don't have any visual reference, so I hope that it's kind of clear what I'm talking about. But okay, so this is the section that they mentioned. I thought they meant just this side of the map. Because if this is what they're actually talking about, I don't see any orange and purple in the environment. There's yellowish, like a little bit of orange, but I feel like that little bit of orange is not what you're supposed to be looking at, because you're supposed to be looking at these, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because that's how we did it with that stuff over there. We looked at these sort of plots, not all the staircase in between stuff. And so if you look at the plots themselves, I mean, am I supposed to like math it out somehow or something? Like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 purples and 3 oranges? Like, what the heck am I supposed to do with that information? So maybe this is the information that's telling me this section is blank, and it just sets it up so that this trellis section goes at the bottom. It's weird, though, that every single other piece had a flower in it, but then all of a sudden we get here and there's no more flowers. You know, that also seems weird. That seems like that would be very odd. I don't know what other information to take from this. I feel like this one is clear. This one, I guess you could say, is 3 purple, 1 orange. This has 3 purple, 1 orange in 3 spots, and then it has 2 fully purple ones. This one has 4 fully purple ones, and then these 2 cancel each other out. That one has all purple, so that one seems pretty clear. This one... if the purple and the orange were to cancel out, and the purple and the half, then I guess this purple, like we have 1 full purple. I mean, this cancels out. It's half and half. That cancels out, and those cancel out. So it's 2 purple. So maybe this one's all purple, this one's all purple, this one, that one cancels itself out, that one cancels itself out. Well, do they cancel themselves out, or are they exactly correct? I mean, they cancel each other out if there's 2 of them. No, they don't. If there was 2 of these, I would say it's half and half. I have no clue. And I kind of just, I hate to say it, but I kind of just don't like this puzzle. Like, I kind of want to just say, forget about it. Look up the answer, do whatever you have to do, because I don't really care for it. It's like, I don't really have any respect for it, but I might not be giving it a fair shot. It might be like, oh, I see it now, I get it. If I were to just actually see it, then I would be like, no, you're right, dude. It makes sense. But as I'm seeing it right now, I don't feel like saying that. So I will briefly go here and try to just do the puzzle with the knowledge that the trellis piece is the lower of the 3 rows. So it's down here. And it's going to be 2 orange, 2 purple. So we could fill it in and we could do that and that. Whoops. That and that. Oh. Okay. That is what it is. Well, what now? Oh, I go back up to the top, I bet. I go back up to the top. Okay, guys, can I just share some before, because I want to be able to sit here and reference this, share my thoughts on some of these puzzles specifically before we go up to the top. I'll keep it quick. Okay, this one, I really did not like how this middle section, the information was part of a grid. Otherwise, pretty fine. It was very difficult. This one I thought was lovely. The graveyard, like with the downturned stones and that, like this one just worked out beautifully. Like very nuanced, complicated. Like I didn't see it right away, but I also didn't have to search super hard to find the baseline of what I needed to work with. So it wasn't too obscure, like visually, but it also wasn't too obvious once I found the spot. And I feel like everything made sense at the end of the day. So I really liked this one. The tree one, also lovely. I found it kind of quickly, but I think it all made sense. It worked out nicely. Oh, the pillar one. This one was pretty cool. This one was pretty cool because it was very, like it was the area. You know, it was kind of satisfying in that way. And I also liked that it was not, like it was clear when you found it that that's what you were looking at. This one also, lovely. Very, like the grid was hard to see, but it was very clearly the right grid that you were looking at. And I think it was very clear that they gave you the like 2 or 3 lanterns diagonally and then the flowers. Like it clicked in your mind. Okay, that's what I'm supposed to be looking at. This one is kind of like the diamond one in the sense that I do not like how this section here had you using information from a grid. This section here, you didn't need any information. Like the information was that it's blank, I guess, which is kind of annoying because every single other square over here was filled in. This, I feel like perspective-wise was very confusing to see, but I get it. Like once you're like, okay, it's just a 2x3 grid, then okay, sure. And then the trellis section I thought was dumb at first, but I get what they were doing there because the orientation or whatever does not actually matter. But to have it be piecemeal of 4 different sections, one of which is giving you that everything there is blank, and them all being completely different in how they delivered the information to you, because this one it was the flower beds that are in the environment. This one it was pieces of a grid. This one it was the grid telling you that there's no conclusive results. And then this one, it was a tiny little bit of flower on a trellis. This one just feels so convoluted, so all over the place. I feel like it's the worst one, definitely. This one, at the manor, I never re-looked to see the size of the walls. Oh, I guess maybe it's kind of like, because this is the main house, or I don't know, whatever. I ended up getting this one. It was all right. I think it was a little forced, but it was all right. You know, I'll give them a pass on this one. I'm like, okay, I guess. Like, even if you don't fully understand it, you still can get it. And you're like, it kind of doesn't make sense for me to try this, but I'll try it this way anyway. That was the thought that I had. And so it worked, you know, it was fine. This one I think was lovely. I have no problems with this one. Very nice, like only within the environment. It wasn't like working off of the grids or anything. Very clear, even though it was two separate pieces to put together. It was very clear that those pieces went together because you were looking at a path, and then at the other one you were looking at a path. It wasn't like, well, half of the puzzle I found in this path on the ground, and then the other path of the puzzle I found in the curvature of the mountains. Like, no, it went together. Like, it was piecemeal, and this one was piecemeal, but this one, they were all entirely different clues to look at. Whereas this one, the clue was the path for both sections. So very satisfying, very good. We liked that one a lot. And then lastly, this one with the solar panels, I think was great as well, because it was very subtle, but like, it wasn't so subtle that I didn't notice it a million times through while I was playing, that like there was a line. Like when I'd walk past the solar panel, I could see the line and I always would notice it. So it was like such a small detail, but you could find it, you know? And then it was clear cut what you needed to do after the fact. So that's how I feel about the environmental puzzles individually. This map thing, that was cool. And the teleportation, that was all cool. Let's go see what happens when we go up to the top. Whoa, it's orange now. Hello? Click. Oh no, I think we go like click or something. Oh, I go from here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. White? Question mark? Yeah, I believe this is called the white ending. That's what people when I was looking for help were saying. Whoa, I'm turning into like a prism of colors. Whoa. Very magical and mystical. I dissolved into nothingness. Did I restore the balance? Okay. Those little dots are gonna disperse out to other places, and then, oh, okay. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! We, like, freed everybody? That's unexpected. I mean, I guess it makes sense that, like, there would have been people here. There was crops and houses and things that showed that, yeah, people should be here. But I was always the only one here. Okay, that's cute. So in the first option, I guess I kind of freed myself, but I didn't get to free these people. Whereas this option, I free the people and maybe sacrifice myself? It's kind of the vibe. Okay. Hello. Hey, neighbor. Nice. Okay. Do, 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 do. Okay. How many more little dots we got? Oh, right, this section. Oh, and there's the graveyard. Okay. Let them touch the ground before you make them a person again, please. Oh my god, how low are they going? Okay, all the way down there. Are they gonna have a hard hat? Yeah! Okay, okay. Oh, right, the orchard. That person's walking fast. They got places to be. They're like, my trees! Lovely, lovely. The graveyard. We'll raise everyone from the dead. No, hopefully that's not what happens. We don't need any zombies. Do, do, do. I feel like I have already seen the environment a good bit in this game. I don't really know if you need to sweep past it and show me the, like, spaces this much again? Ooh. Is this one me? I don't get to drop down because I'm dead now? Is that it? Goodbye. Oh. Goodbye? Credits? What's gonna happen? Probably the credits, right? Yep. Okay. We've got the credits. We can, once again, control them. And I think if I scroll to the end, yeah, it just doesn't do anything. And I have to just press start and I can, like, load. Interesting. Okay, well then I will give my final thoughts. My thoughts overall, because everyone is going to compare this to The Witness. Everyone does compare it to The Witness, and the reason that I wanted to play it was because it was touted as something that was like The Witness. So I'm going to be comparing it to that. Keep in mind, I only played The Witness once, and I played it many years ago at this point. I don't know how many years ago, probably, I don't know when it came out, but maybe I played it close to when it came out. I didn't play it when it was brand new, but way back then, right? And when I played that game, that was the first game that I had ever played that was like that, or like this, I suppose you could say. So it was amazing, awesome, blew my mind. I was like, this is so cool, so fun. As of right now, though, because it was so long ago and I only played it once, I don't actually remember the main puzzle mechanic of that game. How similar it was to this, with the grid style inputs and the different symbols meaning different things. Maybe it was like that. Okay, I just Googled The Witness extremely quickly and looked at some of the pictures and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. It does seem like, yeah, there are many that are like that same style. You have a little panel, you have a grid, and there's a certain sort of way you need to go about looking at the symbols in order to solve the puzzle. Some of them you have to isolate the white from the black, which is kind of similar to these ones here. I don't know if any of them are a direct, like, same puzzle mechanic, or if this one has all different variations than what The Witness had, because like I said, I don't remember. As far as the puzzle mechanics go, I think it's totally fine. They were great. I think that they all had their own challenges. They all had times when it was pretty difficult to figure out what to do. None of them were like way, way, way too easy or way, way, way too hard. I think a lot of people, if you look at the reviews for this game, a lot of people think that the puzzles are too obscure or that the rules break themselves, like that they don't follow a hard rule. Because they're like, well, this is the rule, but then at this puzzle, you can't do that using that rule. But I don't think I ever encountered that. I think every single time that I thought that I might be encountering that, it turns out what I thought was the rule was not the rule. So I think those people just they're not understanding the rules. So I think that they follow their own rules the whole time. So people's criticism in that capacity, I think, is not very valid. They did follow the rules the whole time, as far as I could tell. So that was all fine. And I had fun doing the puzzles, and I liked the level of challenge. I think that the first ending that you get, those puzzles seem way too easy. The puzzles to get this ending were extremely difficult, but I don't think that they were way more difficult than some of the most difficult bonus puzzles. So I think that's good, because that's probably as difficult as you can get without going crazy. For me anyway. So I liked the ones that gave you a challenge and that were a bonus, or that gave you this bonus ending. And then the ones for the main game honestly weren't too bad. I feel like even if you're not a really good puzzle solver, you probably could finish the base game and like the base like mandatory stuff without needing too much help, as long as you understand the rules properly. Some of the places I think that the rule was a little harder to figure out, a little more obscure. Some of the ones in the manor, specifically, I had a bit of a hard time. Like, there were points at which this game, I feel like, tried to push the boundaries a little bit when you were looking for, because my annoyance with it is that the game is specifically stating in the description of the game somewhere, something along the lines of, you don't have to worry about trying to figure out what is a puzzle or where the puzzles are, because every single puzzle is made on a grid system and it's input on a grid system, so it's very clear. So they make it seem like there isn't going to be a lot of obscure stuff that you have to decipher because it's all clearly just grid puzzles on a grid. But then they start throwing in things like remember the manor puzzle that looked like a playing card? And the threes were supposed to be 3 dots for one of the dot puzzles, or like the dot rule. I feel like that's pushing it. Like, you're really pushing it in terms of like getting people to recognize that. Whereas the other ones that incorporated the dots, like the one of the lady and like her necklace was dots, or like the stars in the sky were dots, those ones, it was clear. Like, it was hidden within the puzzle or within the picture, but you could clearly isolate the dots and see them. But when it was the 3, like, that was, I feel like that was too obscure. So there are small things like that, very small moments like that were annoying to me. But overall, very positive remarks for the game, for the puzzle difficulty, for the puzzle rules, for the, hunting and finding the environmental puzzles, besides the ones that I said I thought were too obscure. I really liked that they included the environmental puzzles, and that's what takes me to my main point of contention with this game as to whether I was going to think it was really good or kind of disappointing. Was that in The Witness, the thing that I remember the most about that game, the thing that stuck with me the most, because like I said, I forgot all of the other puzzle types. What stuck with me the most was the environmental puzzles, and going around and searching for them and discovering one right in front of your eyes, being like, wow, this is crazy. This is a puzzle here. That was the coolest thing to me. I think it was done so well, and it was so satisfying, even though like actually solving the puzzle wasn't so hard sometimes. It was basically like line up your viewpoint was how to solve it. Just line up your viewpoint and then you like pull the line across. But it was so unbelievably satisfying to find them, and it was so fun. And if this game hadn't had any environmental puzzles, I would have been like, how can people even really compare it that much to The Witness if it doesn't have that element? So this did bring in that element, and it did it with some of the puzzles better than others. But I'm glad that it brought that element in. I don't think it was as magical, though. I don't think it was as satisfying. But I don't know if that's as much to do with the way that they did it, or just simply with the fact that I already have experienced it before, With The Witness, I never even knew to consider that. And so then when it pops up and you're like, wait, I feel like this is a puzzle, and you like try to click on the screen and drag the thing over and it works, and your mind is blown. So I think part of it is just simply that, like, this game, because I played it second, is obviously not going to have as much of that vibe because I was expecting it to a degree, or I was hoping for it to a degree. So that being said, even though it didn't have that wow factor as much, it still was done quite well in that regard. The last thing that I would say is that I feel like The Witness had another added layer of a little bit more mystery with the storyline. Like, I feel like they added a little more lore or storyline for the player to experience while they're playing. And it didn't. And even though I had literally no clue what was going on, if you ask me what that game is about, what the storyline is, I have no clue. And I don't think I had any clue as I was going through it either. But that's not the point. The point is that it felt a little bit mysterious and intriguing as you were going throughout the land. In this one, they do give you a bit of story with those endings, but I kind of thought that I was just like in a vacuum. Like I kind of thought I didn't know as I was walking through that there was a story to be told as I was going through experiencing this environment and all of the different zones. Like they were done well, and they did have storytelling elements in some capacity, I suppose. Like, why are they mining for coal here? I guess. I don't know. Why is there an orchard? Like, I guess, but like I didn't even think to consider what's going on because I don't feel like it was built enough for me to feel anything like that. So puzzle-wise, it's kind of hard for me to super compare because I don't remember the puzzles from The Witness. But I think these puzzles didn't leave anything lacking. It's more the vibes. It's the vibes of the environment, the environmental puzzles, the storyline, the intrigue, the wow. This was sort of more like me going through a puzzle book and turning the page and doing the next puzzle. And okay, cool, I finished that one. Now turn the page, go to the next puzzle. It felt a little bit more like that. But I love doing puzzle books, so I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed the challenge. Those were just like, that's my way to compare it to The Witness, because I feel like that's a given that people will do that. And that is my way of, I don't know, I guess comparing it to my initial expectations, which were that it will be like The Witness, that some things will maybe not follow the rules, because like that was what I preconceived sort of thing that I had beforehand going into it from what other people had said. So I think I wrapped it all up and shared my thoughts on the different aspects, the main aspects. Thank you guys so much for watching, and helping in the like small tidbits when I asked for a little bit of help. I think you guys did give a perfect amount of help. And otherwise you let me just figure it out, which was extremely helpful. I'm glad that you guys were, for the most part, content to just watch me try and figure it out, because that was the whole point, obviously. If another game exists like this and you guys know about it and you want to see me play it, leave it in the comments below. I'll check it out. And or if we get to a point where another game exists like this, like I don't know if there is technically something in this realm as of right now, but maybe someone's making one. I would love to check it out. So if you guys hear about it, tell me about it, because I'm not the best at finding things on my own. People usually tell me about things, and that's how I find out about them. So feel free to leave recommendations like that or any other types of game recommendations in the comments below. We are already going to be starting up one new game, I think tomorrow. The first episode is going to come out. But now that I finished this game, we probably have room for another new game. So I can either pick from the bank of games that I already own and have already considered, or if somebody's got a great recommendation, I will check that out as well. That is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next series, I guess. Bye-bye now.